Hey guys, what's going on? It's Commentator Auditor here, and I'm coming to you guys because I'm kind of having some issues with another creator on YouTube. And it's not that I'm going on the attack, and it's not that this person attacked me, but there are some misinformation going on in the Jeremy DeWitt case that I would like to discuss. And so this video is going to try to help start the discussion and go over the issues I'm having with this particular content creator. Now, this content creator is pretty big in the sense that his channel is bigger than mine. Their channel also is monetized, but they have made some statements here recently that are a little against the grain here of the way I see some of the other channels that are handling the Jeremy DeWitt story. So I want to go ahead and speak my mind on this, get this off my chest, and have an open, honest discussion with you guys. Now, some of you guys are watching this because y'all are subscribed to my channel. Some of you are also subscribed to this content creator's channel as well. So this is a trigger warning. If you don't like people being called out for certain mistakes, please go ahead and click away from the video. That being said, let's go ahead and dive into this.
That was crazy too on that transport paper, transport the body. I'm like, what the hell happened? Like,
Oh, I got that. Yeah, I got that right here. Screen a clip of that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. When I saw that, I'm like, transport the. What do you like off himself?
Okay, so let me go over this. It's Steve-0-1 is moving. He has changed his YouTube channel now to Steve-0-1 Enterprises. And so he does not understand what it meant on the paperwork when it says transport the body. As you heard, even 5-0 Patrol, I was like, what the crap? What, did he off himself? No. Literally, what that means is regardless of his medical condition or his mental health condition, you must transport him from this detention facility to this detention facility. That's all that meant. And Steve-O was commenting on how weird that is. It's not really weird. That's common legal language in many, many cases where they're going over transport document paperwork. It's the court saying you must transport him from this jail to this jail, regardless of if he is sick or if he is mentally ill. That's all that was saying.
2 weeks ago, doing an escort. It's funny because Jay Pavilion, you guys know him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's a good friend of mine. He's up in Chicago too. I was like texting him back and forth, man. I was trying to catch up with Metro State, man. They were like hauling it too, man. Just trying to see where they were going. That was no, dipshit was in jail, yeah. So there was a funeral. Yeah, oh yeah, man. Lights and everything going.
I'll be damned.
It's like the thing I try to say the most, like, what funeral escort company? Because a lot of people, a lot of states, they don't use funeral escort companies. Like, what the hell is this, right?
This is a statement that I have problems with. Now, I did bring this up to Steve-O in the comment section of this particular live stream after I had started watching it. There are quite a few private funeral escort companies across every one of the lower 48 states. They have them in California, Arizona, Florida, Alabama, Texas, Georgia. The list goes on and on and on. And I mentioned this to Steve-O in the comment, and Steve-O gave it a thumbs up because I was not trying to attack him, just a little bit of, friendly criticism, hey, that's not a factual statement. You need to check that out. Um, and that's what this whole video is about. This video is about correcting some mistakes. And I'm not trying to attack or go after Steve-0 in any way. I am trying to help educate Steve-0 on some of the things that he has gotten wrong. And there are a few of those in this particular live stream. And so that was the 17-minute 32-second mark of the stream with Buddy and 5-0 Patrol. The first one was the 14-minute 14-second mark of the video. The next one coming up is 21 minutes and 8-second mark.
Orange handle.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So, fun fact for you guys, and I can't really talk a lot about what my wife does, but she does work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's
Cool.
she is a civilian.
Now, I do believe that he misspoke in this clip because he said he can't talk a lot about what his wife does. Civilian, meaning non-sworn positions within a law enforcement agency, are not classified positions. You can talk about the ins and outs of those all day long. Some of those, what you can't talk about is things like certain calls that came up and victims of certain crimes, things of that nature. But usually the only civilian dealing with calls is a dispatcher, period, or a dispatch supervisor. And as you can see here, here's a list of jobs with Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Office. School crossing guard is a civilian job. It's a non-sworn position. IT specialist is, again, a non-sworn position. 911 emergency communication specialist, that's just a fancy way of saying dispatcher, not a sworn position. Again, IT specialist, not a sworn position. Criminal background investigator could be civilian or could be sworn, because they request that you at least have some sort of investigative knowledge. So it could be someone certified as a private investigator. They could do the civilian background investigator job, or it could be a law enforcement officer who was a criminal investigator. But that's a non-sworn position. And judicial process technician is a civilian, non-sworn position. There's nothing secret about these jobs. You can look these jobs up and talk about what these jobs do. You can actually find this stuff just doing a basic Google search. This is orlandojobs.com, and this is the Orange County Sheriff's Office job listings on the website. Right? So there's a very limited number of civilian jobs in law enforcement agencies, but they're not secret. A maintenance man for the county jail that's on the county sheriff's office payroll is nothing top secret about that. So I do believe Steve-0 misspoke that he won't is what he meant to say, not can't. Because can't implies that, it's hush-hush. There's some classified stuff to it. You can't talk about it. Which there's not in civilian, non-sworn law enforcement positions. So, I'm going to give a ding for that one because he misspoke. It's not can't. It's that you don't want to. And I wouldn't want to bring my family into my YouTube streams or my social media for stuff that Commentator Auditor does. I mean, that's just me. This is my YouTube channel. This is not about me and my family. I'm not a family YouTube streamer. I'm a channel that provides commentary on certain things that are going on. So, and why he ever brought that up, I have no clue.
I no. Somebody keeps asking about if the vehicles were repossessed. I don't think. No, I think he owned all those vehicles. Maybe not the ghost car. I don't know. And then that new funeral car. I don't know if he owns those, but I believe he owns most of his fleet.
Where's the ghost car been?
So let me go ahead and go over this one. Here is a post from last week on Steve-0's page. Repossession. There's a picture of two Ford vehicles, black and white. Both, I'm assuming, are Metro State. I know that this one right here definitely is, because that's the Metro State ambulance. I'm pretty sure these were taken earlier, but using this post a week ago, seems to be that he's hinting at maybe they were repossessed. Now, Steve-0 does go into further detail about what possibly happened instead of the vehicles being stolen, guessing that one of the statements was a guess that maybe he title pawned. In case it was a title pawn, it would be a repossession via having the title pawn company put a lien on the vehicle due to non-payment, and then send a repossession agent out there to recover the vehicle as collateral. If it was a title pawn, it would still be a repossession. So saying no, I don't think it's a repossession, and then saying title pawn doesn't really make any sense. Just saying.
Didn't he make a fake passport at some point, or he forged one, or tried to use somebody's identity a long time ago?
I heard something about that. I haven't really looked into that one yet.
That's a pretty
I could totally see that guy fabricating up some military ID or something to get on some C-130 to get the hell out of here.
Absolutely.
C-130.
And that's the thing with the stolen valor and stuff. I haven't really gone on with that. I'm working on that, but that's federal. Those are federal crimes. There's a Florida statute on impersonating military, even dressing up, and pretending that you're military. That's a crime.
We had that conversation just a couple of days ago there, 5-0.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. It is Florida Statute 817.312. A person may not, 1, misrepresent himself or herself as a member or veteran of the United States Air Force, United States Army, United States Coast Guard, United States Marine Corps, United States Navy, or National Guard, or wear the uniform of or any medal or insignia authorized for use by members or veterans of the United States Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Navy, or National Guard, which he or she is not authorized to wear, while soliciting for charitable contributions or for the purpose of material gain, including but not limited to obtaining employment or public office, resulting in receiving compensation. This subsection does not prohibit persons in the theatrical profession from wearing such uniforms, medals, or insignias while actually engaged in such professions. A person who violates this subsection commits a felony of the 3rd degree, punishable as provided in 775.082, 775.083, or 775.084. So, yes, I understand that Steve-0's a little confused on this, but let me go ahead and explain. There is already Supreme Court case law that says this and this by itself are 100% legal, that a person has a right to misrepresent himself or herself as a veteran of the United States military, whether it's the Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, or Navy, or a state National Guard. So Florida had to go by that standard, right? They can't make a law that goes against what the Supreme Court has already ruled for. Guess what? That's why there's this section. They can do this legally, as long as they don't solicit for charitable contributions or for the purpose of material gain, including but not limited to obtaining employment or public office resulting in receiving compensation. So Florida's state statute is almost identical to the federal statutes on stolen valor. Because people have a right to lie about their military service as long as they don't receive any type of financial gain, property, or other tangible benefit. Just like the federal law says, the state law says the same thing. It's a slight misunderstanding of how he's reading the state laws. And I can go back on this to another misrepresentation that we're going to get into later in the video, which is actually our next one.
Getting dressed in my uniform, and I go to put my gun in my holster, and I look at it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to carry any bullets today. I'm just going to unload my gun. He's like, do you think I do that? He's like,
yeah.
But yeah. So that brings a good point, though. I don't know the Florida law as far as like concealed carry goes down there, or open carry, right? So if he is a felon, right? Already, right? He's a convicted felon. I didn't think a convicted felon could even carry a non-lethal.
So technically, let me answer this question real quick here. Any chance Dylan's charges being dropped so he flipped on Jeremy? Frank, thank you for the super chat. So Dylan's charges for impersonating were already dismissed. He was charged with criminal mischief, and he has to pay some monies on probation. And why carry an unloaded pepper ball for protection? Because he's Jeremy. That's why. Going back to what you were saying, though, you bring up a good point there. So I've read a lot of case law and stuff like that. Technically, in the state of Florida, the stuff that he has in his possession, since he is a convicted felon, legally he's not supposed to even be in possession of. And that's what blows my mind. I don't see how.
Right.
You're not. I mean, even the bulletproof vest. If you look up the Florida statute, so I don't understand why it keeps getting returned to him, even though he's a felon because of a different reason. A felon is a felon.
Right.
So it makes no sense to me. You should not have. It's against the law to be in possession of that. I've looked that stuff up.
Okay, so we're looking at the statute in question in this section of Steve-0's video. Now, I'm going to give you a little hint, guys. For those of you who are fixing to get triggered on this, I'm fixing to call Steve-0 out on this one. I have said this several times already in chats about Jeremy. You need to read the state laws with a fine-tooth comb. Everything that you look at in the state statutes, you need to understand grammar. You need to understand legal definitions. You need to be wary of lists and compound sentences. Just because you start seeing a list doesn't mean that list continues forever throughout that whole sentence. This is definitely true with the felons and delinquents' possession of firearms, ammunitions, or electrical weapons or devices unlawful. The law in question is 790.23. So let me go ahead and tell you this. It says in 1, it is unlawful for any person to own or to have in his or her care, custody, possession, or control any firearm, ammunition, or electrical weapon or device, comma, or to carry a concealed weapon, including a tear gas gun or chemical weapon or device, if that person has been A, convicted of a felony in the courts of this state. When I said comma after electrical weapon or device, that's a compound sentence. You have two sentences that are compound with a comma and an or to form two separate sentences with two separate lists. The first list is anything that he is not allowed to have, period. And the second list is strictly items that are considered weapons that he is not allowed to carry concealed. That is the difference. It's a compound sentence. It's not a continual list. It's not, he can't have everything on this list, period, but just this one little thing. It's not that way. It's a compound sentence. And the pepper ball gun is a chemical weapon. It's not a tear gas gun because tear gas is not OC. Tear gas is what is commonly called in the military CS gas. OC is pepper spray. Pepper ball is just pepper balls carry OC spray in a powderized form. So it's a chemical weapon, not a tear gas gun. There is a difference. Again, guys, I don't mean this video to be an attack on Steve-0. I hope you guys can understand it. Those of you who watch my channel and watch Steve-0's channel, I know you guys also watch Blue Bacon. It's not that I'm trying to attack Steve-0. I'm trying to help him understand where he's wrong in some of his statements. He said he's read case law. I believe him. My thing is he's failing to connect certain dots. Information that you have to have if you're going to try to interpret actual laws. Grammar is very, very important. Spelling, legal definitions, and wording. Those are all things you have to pay very, very close attention to. Not picking up that the Florida statute on felon in possession of a weapon or firearm was a compound sentence. That is a grammar mistake that he didn't pick up on. And I'm not trying to attack him on it. I'm just saying you got to pay attention to those things. It can trip up yourself if you don't. I'm trying to stress that enough because when you're looking into things as far as testifying in court like I have to do sometimes, doing security work and investigations work, or Blue might have to sometimes doing his private investigations work, wording is very, 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 very important in how you say things. That's why when you go before courts, even as a private security officer, private investigator, the attorneys are going to tell you keep it short and concise. Best words I can tell you is follow the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. Alright? Because if you say the wrong thing, or you start making these long statements instead of a short, concise yes, no, it can mean life and death in a court case. It can mean a small, slight thing like that can throw a case out of favor for your client and into favor for the opposing party. So you got to be careful in reading these laws and interpreting them, because that was a misinterpretation on Steve-0's part. Again, I'm not trying to attack Steve-0 on this. I'm just trying to help correct some mistakes he's made.